Witch podcast with me, Carly. Hope you are all well, witches. Today's episode is a bit of a mixture of spring themes. We are firstly looking at the butterfly, which you may be surprised to discover has some huge links to witches. We are then looking at the crystal green aventurine. This is one of my favourites. It's linked to the zodiac sign of Aries. We are about to step into Aries season, but it's also meant to be one of the crystals to work with for manifesting and lucky energy. Not to mention its green colour that always reminds me of new growth and spring. We finish up with a beautiful little story called Hunting the Dawn about Ostara. So the image for this episode of a hare is for this. A real little mishmash today of spring themes. If you are listening to this when the episode comes out, blessed Ostara, I hope you have an amazing day today. So, we are starting off with our book review. This is a book that my book club, the Literary Witches Coven, all read together across February and March. I don't think I had one witch who read this that didn't rave about this book. Many have even gone on to read the follow-up book. There is a third book in the series coming out later this year too. That book is Morgan Is My Name by Sophie Keetch. This read is all about Morgan Le Fay, her very early days from childhood through to her early 20s. An absolutely magical historical fiction read where we start out in the beautiful Tintagel, Cornwall. Morgan from a very early age is very curious. She demonstrates certain abilities. She's different from her two older sisters. She has no desire to get married or be a queen. She just wants to handle birds of prey like her dad teaches her. She wants to read books and gain knowledge. All things that are somewhat frowned upon for females of her time. Sadly, her beloved father dies and her mother is deceived into marrying the villainous Uther Pendragon. This book does a wonderful job of filling in some of the gaps I had in regards to Merlin, King Arthur, Uther Pendragon and so on. It just brought them to life and I felt like I was rattling around in the castle with Morgan at times. And also because I've been to Tintagel so many times, it was wonderful because I could really visualise it. There is a real battle between Uther and Morgan, and her life is impacted and limited by him in a number of ways and over a number of years. But Morgan is such a tough protagonist, nothing ever keeps her down for too long. She's also humble, and despite the dangers of being caught, she goes on to utilise her medical knowledge, so her knowledge of plants and so on, and how they can heal. She heals many villagers whilst trying to keep her role as queen secret. Alongside her is Alice, her Welsh friend, that she meets when she's sent off to a convent for a brief period of time. Alice goes on to be by her side when Morgan becomes a queen. Their friendship is truly beautiful, and together Alice and Morgan, they put together a manuscript or grimoire documenting all the healing work that they are doing. They have their own witchy space where they collect books and grow plants for their work and so on. The descriptions in this book are gorgeous. I loved hearing of the lavish royal life, but again, also the work that Morgan does with herbs and so on. Again, I will try and review this with no spoilers, but for a brief stint of Morgan's life, as I mentioned earlier, she is sent off to a convent by Uther Pendragon, where she is really fortunate to have the opportunity to learn how to work with plants and to heal. So initially it starts off, she thinks it's going to be this terrible experience, but it ends up being some of the best years of her life. She also discovers while she's there that she has these powers to heal that she must keep quiet, lest she be accused of, being in cohorts with the devil and so on. Morgan is regularly at the mercy of powerful men throughout her life, but despite this, she tends to always defeat the odds, wielding her power whenever she can. As romance goes, I'm never really a fan of romance in books, but I really enjoyed her tryst with the lovely French knight Accolon. I also wanted more of Merlin, and King Arthur in the book is just this wonderful king and brother to her, but I'm led to believe the second book we really see more of these two characters, so I definitely want to read it for that. I have long been a fan of Merlin and King Arthur. Firstly, since spending so much time of my life in Cornwall. So I've mentioned this so many times, but if you haven't heard, my grandparents lived in Bodmin, Cornwall. So we were often in Tintagel, and obviously, the King Arthur story was huge when we were there was always things that came up. But also because of that, The Sword in the Stone is one of my favourite Disney films. Mad Madam Mim, she was just epic. This is a book that as soon as I'd finished it, I requested a copy of the follow-up book, Le Fay, to read from the library. So I can't wait to get into that. If you would like to join us in our Literary Witches Coven for our read for April and May, we are currently deciding through a poll that has gone live today what book we are going to read over April and May. There is a link to my Patreon, The Witches Institute, in the show notes, and you can read along with us through the Sorceress or Witches Who Run with the Wolves tier. The chosen book will be confirmed on Sunday. Some amazing books have been nominated. I'll just give you a few. One is, oh my goodness, I can't wait to read this if I ever get around to it. Circe by Madeline Miller. The Morrigan by Kim Curran. Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I've got this on my I need to read this year. She is the author of the wonderful book Wayward, and there are a few others that are up on the poll. So head on over there and cast your vote and sign up if you wish to read along with us. I would love to see you there. But for now, join me to talk about butterflies, green aventurine, and hear our Ostara story, Hunting the Dawn. The butterfly, magical associations. Grant wishes, make dreams come true. Sudden life change, transformation, personal growth, renewal, communication with the spirit world, personal change, new beginnings, hope, renewal, attracting and maintaining romantic relationships, and metamorphosis. The word butterfly derives from the Middle English word butterfliege or butterfledge. I couldn't find the exact pronunciation. It means much the same as the word we use today, with butter meaning butter and fliege, the Germanic word for flying. If we look deeper at the word's etymology and how it has evolved, we will come to see it has a lot to do with witches. In both Germany and England, there was a very dark belief in the beautiful butterfly, that they were in fact witches who shapeshifted into the form of this winged insect in order to spoil or steal cream or milk from their neighbours. In Germany, butterflies were called Molkensteller or way stealers. It was believed the witch would use the butterfly's form to carry out much of their bidding in disguise. The belief of the witch and the butterfly aligned the butterfly with the devil. Jacob Grimm wrote in Teutonic mythology that witches astral travel by night, that her spirit would exit her body through her mouth and leave as a butterfly. In Slovenia, they held a belief the soul looked like a butterfly. In German folklore, the Alp, a shape-shifting nightmare bringer, was said to take the form of a butterfly or moth. The Holden of the Furious Host, the Wild Hunt, and elves were also said to take the form of butterflies or moths. The Russian word for butterfly is baboshka, a diminutive of the word baba, meaning old woman. This stems back to Russian folklore, where the butterfly was thought to be a witch in disguise. In Irish folklore, they believed the butterfly to be related to the very soul of a human being. To kill a white butterfly was considered bad luck, as they were believed to be the souls of deceased children. They believed the butterfly could pass easily between our world and the other world. They also associated the butterfly with the fire of the gods, the D1D, which is a magical flame that appears in the Beltane Baal fire or the Need fire. Aristotle, Roman philosopher, named the butterfly Psyche, which is the Greek word for soul. Butterflies appeared on denarii coins in ancient Rome to the left of the head of Juno, goddess of weddings and marriage. A famous Roman statue depicts a butterfly flying out of the open mouth of a dead man, said to represent his soul leaving his body through the mouth. An Appalachian belief was that if you could count the spots on the wings of a fritillary butterfly, it would tell you how much money was coming your way. The mourning cloak butterfly is seen in the Ozarks as a harbinger of spring weather. Unlike most species of butterfly, the mourning cloak winters over as larvae and makes an appearance as soon as the weather warms in spring. Native American tribes have many legends of the butterfly. The Tohono O'odham believed the butterfly could carry wishes and prayers to the Great Spirit. You would need to catch a butterfly without harming it and whisper your secrets to it. As the butterfly cannot speak, only the butterfly will know your prayers and carry them to the Great Spirit. It is said a wish given to a butterfly in exchange for setting the butterfly free is always granted. The Zuni people considered butterflies to be an indicator of weather that was to come. White butterflies meant summer was about to begin. Should a dark butterfly be the first to be seen, this was an omen of a long stormy summer. If they saw a yellow butterfly, it was a sign of a bright, sunny summer. Navajo and Hopi tribes considered butterflies as messengers of joy and transformation. The Navajo also have a butterfly chant, a traditional healing ceremony that the butterfly is a central symbol to. In Mesoamerica, the temples of Teotihuacan are adorned with brightly coloured paintings and carvings of butterflies. They made the association with the souls of fallen warriors. The Aztecs also considered butterflies an embodiment of the souls of fallen warriors, and when they migrated, this symbolised the journey the souls deceased warriors took to reach the afterlife. They believed the souls of the warriors were carried to the realm of the dead, where they would continue to live and be honoured. In Chinese culture, the butterfly is a symbol for love and romantic feelings. The phrase Dihua or Daihua translates to butterfly love and is said to represent lovers reuniting in the afterlife. As the butterfly has a short lifespan, this is considered a reflection of how passion and love is so fleeting. This is a quote by TMT. The butterfly is only beautiful because the caterpillar is brave. We must of course mention the caterpillar if we are examining the butterfly, for without the caterpillar we would have no butterfly. Prior to the transformation, the caterpillar bides his time preparing to become something very different. The caterpillar and the butterfly are wonderful symbolism for any spell or ritual work relating to starting a new life. Some witches will incorporate found butterfly wings from deceased insects and add them to spell jars and sachets or amulets, especially for intentions relating to huge transformation. For the caterpillar deconstructs its entire self to become something totally different. It's also a reminder that every part of the journey is essential and significant. Moths and butterflies have been connected to the dead and afterlife in many cultures across the world. When communicating with loved ones past, you may wish to incorporate moth or butterfly symbolism. They represent the transformation from one state to another. The appearance of a butterfly has often been seen as a message from a deceased loved one. If the butterfly is your spirit animal, this is said to show you are deeply attuned to the essence of transformation. Also that you possess an inner harmony and move with life's ebbs and flows, which helps you manage your way confidently and at ease through life's challenges. Character-wise, it is said you will likely be sweet-natured, light-hearted, present in the moment, and 3. Butterfly's fleeting existence asks us to cherish the present moment. Their unrestrained freedom is a reminder to disconnect from earthly desires and find freedom within the unknown. This is a quote by Christine Evangelou. Transformation is not a kind place. It's chaotic and a source of inner conflict because it is not a safe place, but it is a place of growth, a place of rebirth where you can restart and realign with who you are. We can learn so much from the caterpillar that grows its butterfly wings in the ache and darkness of its own cocoon and is reborn beautiful and free with wings to fly. This is the true meaning and profoundness of transformation. It is where the truest arts of you can emerge and you transition into the most intuitive and vibrant canvas of yourself. So looking at some butterfly symbolism, the monarch butterfly is linked to transformation, travel and royalty. The painted lady butterfly, transformation, change and adaptability. The red admiral butterfly, love, passion and change. The mourning cloak butterfly, transformation, death and rebirth. The peacock butterfly, vanity, pride and renewal. The Cleopatra butterfly, love, beauty, and elegance. The yellow butterfly. So I've been out for a walk this morning in the woods with my little dog Bowie and saw loads of yellow butterflies flying around. And these are said to symbolise new life on the way. Something fun, creative is aligning in your life, or someone new will enter your life. A symbol of joy, happiness, and creativity, and a reminder to have fun and embrace creativity, playfulness, and what makes you happy. The black butterfly symbolises potent transformation, that something in your life needs to be reviewed. Consider what you need to let die and fade away in your life. Perhaps a limiting belief, pattern, habit, or how you relate to the world and others. The black butterfly reminds us that on the other side of death is rebirth. A green butterfly is a symbol of powerful change and growth which will soon unfold in your life. Brings a message of hope and encouragement, a feeling of joy and calm, even more so should the butterfly land on you. Can also represent good luck and money. The orange butterfly, a symbol of encouragement, excitement, passion, a reminder to follow your inner bliss, to reconnect with joy and to stay positive. The colour of the sacral chakra, the orange butterfly can carry a message to work on positively transforming your life, to connect with others and your creativity. I was just thinking about that butterfly landing on you and how I was walking through the woods this morning, and I'm always really quiet. I'm so respectful. I know that this place belongs to the animals. And I always get really upset when they're, like the birds are squawking at other birds, warning you that there's this huge giant wandering through the woods, and the squirrels are running up the trees, and the pheasants, they run off if they see you. And it's a bit like that meme. I'm always there, like trying to be like the witch of the woods, really quiet. And, I'm like, but can't you sense my whimsy? Let me love you. Come to me. But yeah, they're all like terrified of this huge monster wandering through the woods. But alas. To attract butterflies to your garden, and I'm sure many of us witches are starting to plant things now. I know I am. You may wish to plant nectar plants such as buddleia, lavender, hebe, echinacea, verbena, aster, lavender, cornflowers, helenium, sedum, wild marjoram, common knapweed, and field scabious. Some good hosting plants to hide caterpillars are alfalfa, clover, and violet. And a good source of food for caterpillars are nettles. Great time for nettles. Been seeing tons. I'm about to go and harvest some to use in my craft this year. You've also got hops, lady's smock, holly, ivy, and meadowgrass. And again, some of these are with the nectar plants are great for bees as well. I've just started to see some huge, big buzzing bees. One was trying to fly in the window when I was recording earlier. So yes, we are finally feeling like spring is here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. So I don't always really resonate with crystals, but one that I do own that I'm really fond of is green aventurine. So I bought this a couple of years ago around this same time because I wanted to work with it for manifestation and success and good luck and so on. But the one that I got, B, who came onto the podcast, she came on the crystals and sex magic episode. She actually picked it out for me from her work. It's in the shape of a rabbit. So again, I always connect it to spring. I also connect it to spring with the colour green. And again, because this is a time with Ostara, when we all start to plant seeds of what we want to bring in, we really start to take action. It's also linked to the zodiac signs of Leo and Aries. So I'm a Leo star, Aries moon. We are coming into Aries season as well. So this could be a really good crystal to work with. It has many different names such as Lucky Talisman, Stone of Opportunity, the Crystal of Venus, Fairy Treasure, I love that one, Stone of the Amazons, and the Gambler's Stone. It's linked to the elements of water, earth, and air, which is strange because of the zodiac signs it's linked to. Aries and Leo are both fire, but anyway. It's linked to the planet Mercury, linked to the deities Brigid, Persephone, Dion, the Phoenician earth goddess, Cupra, the Etruscan fertility goddess, and Fleish, the Celtic goddess of the hunt. Linked to the heart chakra, it has a hardness of 7. Its healing properties: strength, balance, success, cleansing, courage, luck, opportunities, stress relief, happiness, abundance, empathy, prosperity, confidence, willpower, calmness, virility, optimism, and prosperity. Green aventurine is said to be around 2.5 million years old. Up to the 19th century, it was called the Stone of the Amazons, as Brazilian supplies of the crystal were said to have been used as jewels and talismans for the Amazonian warriors. The Ethiopians were known to use aventurine within crafting their tools such as axes. In ancient Tibet, they would fix green aventurine crystals to their statues' eyes, believing this would enhance the statue's visionary powers. Green aventurine has been mined globally in Austria, Brazil, Spain, India, Tanzania, and Russia. A crystal that is considered to be the luckiest of them all, holding strong ability to attract wealth and luck. It can also help you to release old habits, patterns, and disappointments, so you can be ready for new opportunities and growth and be able to move forward with confidence. Named after the Italian word aventura, which means by chance. Green aventurine is said to help promote leadership qualities, career success, aid in decision making, promotes compassion and empathy for others and yourself. It is said to help balance out your mood, calm anger, and stabilize your state of mind, giving you the ability to recognize alternatives and possibilities. It's a great crystal to work with to enhance your creativity and motivation. It has the ability to encourage perseverance in maneuvering life's decisions, reinforcing decisiveness, and injects a sense of humour and openness to the ideas of others. Said to enhance your intellectual development and learning, and also beneficial in overcoming clumsiness. Is said to help balance the emotional body, guiding you towards inner harmony, calms nervousness, anger and irritation, and alleviates the everyday stress of a hectic lifestyle. Said to help enhance sleep whilst providing a gentle grounding effect on your vibrational field, stimulates life-giving energy through the body. Health-wise, so I'm still a little bit of a skeptic in regards to crystals and health, but that's just me. I'm still very new to crystals in some respects. But the more I go down the rabbit hole of the whole Pleiadians, Atlanteans, Lemurians, and what they used crystals for, the more I am beginning to be more open-minded. But anyway, this is how green aventurine is said to support us health-wise. It's said to aid in balancing blood pressure, stimulates the metabolism, eases allergies, relieves migraines and soothes eyes, benefits in healing the adrenals, lungs, sinuses, thymus gland, nervous system, as well as cardiac and circulatory conditions. an immune boosting stone of heart health, healing and vitality. Benefits fertility is said to slow the aging process. Genitourinary problems, cerebral palsy, dyslexia and dyspraxia, has an anti-inflammatory effect, easing skin eruptions such as acne, eczema and rosacea. It's said to soothe emotional wounds, allowing you to recognize issues behind illness or imbalance, depression or defeat. Helps you facilitate the release of unhealthy relationships, patterns and heartache, encouraging us to view life's hardships as impermanent and an opportunity for growth in a new direction. A reaffirming stone for times of change and upheaval. Ideal to use as an emotional anchor to help you remain stable and firmly grounded. Green aventurine is said to be able to assist balancing our masculine and feminine energy within us. Helps us to release attachment to outcomes and to be more present within our experiences. Supports us in embracing change, growth and renewal, but also to persevere when it feels nothing is happening for us. Said to be a harmonizer of our intellect, emotional, physical and auric bodies and bring us back to a natural rhythm. This crystal is a powerful protector of the heart chakra, providing a shield to block entry from those who would tap in and use the energy of another. By wearing it daily, you can help balance the heart chakra, help yourself to be generous with the world, but also allowing yourself to receive, to help in taking loving care of yourself and to establish healthy balance and vitality. Sometimes called the crystal of Venus, as it has purported benefits relating to love and fidelity. For those looking for love in more mature years, it is a great love crystal that encourages love later in life. Its most important properties relate to its powerful manifesting powers, considered truly the luckiest crystal for wealth and abundance. Not merely an attractor of luck, it has the ability to align conditions so opportunity is inevitable, providing its owner with a zest for life and optimism to move forward and confidently embrace change. A great crystal for increasing favour in competitions or games of chance. It holds a winning energy that makes it a great stone to work with to boost your chances in any situation, from an interview to a first date. Just being near it helps you derive its benefits. Green aventurine's divinatory meaning is speculate to accumulate, placing charm bags to attract money and good fortune. Meditate with it when you are wanting an increase in your abundance and wealth, to help you support the feeling of deserving to receive and your self-worth. Also to overcome any abundance and prosperity blocks. Green aventurine holds a strong connection to the earth and Devic kingdom, providing a better understanding of nature and its soothing vibrations upon the mind and body. Place green aventurine into a green plant's soil overnight. Remove and hold the crystal in the morning and allow Mother Earth to replace any feelings of depression or anxiety with hope and well-being. Green aventurine is a variety of quartz characterized by its bright inclusions of mica or other minerals that give it a shimmering or glistening effect, to the stone referred to as aventurescence. The colour of green aventurine comes from fuchsite particles within the quartz. It's an excellent crystal for use in gridding houses or gardens against geopathic stress. Some mantras you could use when working with green aventurine are: good luck follows me everywhere I go. I welcome wealth and abundance into my life by consciously creating space for thoughts of prosperity. I am ready to make the most of every day. So I'm actually going to be making a money bowl. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll make sure I post it on there. I will also post it on my Patreon as one of the free posts that I put out. There's a link in the notes if you want to follow me over on there also, so you can see that. But I'm going to add my little green aventurine bunny into my money bowl. Yes, so if you want to see that, I will get that posted on there. So I thought I would finish up this very spring-like episode with a little spring story. And this is a story called Hunting the Dawn from the March chapter of the book, Telling the Seasons, Stories, Celebrations and Folklore Around the Year by Martin Maudsley. In deepest Somerset, there was an old woman who lived in an old cottage with a little garden, where she kept a few chickens and a cow. One night at the end of March, she awoke in the middle of the night, completely convinced that it was already morning and with an overwhelming compulsion to go to market. In the darkness, she dressed and packed her wicker basket with eggs, butter and cream, then set out along the empty country lanes towards the nearby village of Crocombe. As she was walking across the gentle contours of a heathland hill, she suddenly stopped, as if a spell had been broken, and looked around in bewilderment at the darkness of the night. Then, in the gentle light of the silvery moon rising behind the hill, she saw a small, brown body running swiftly towards her, with long legs and flattened ears. The brown hair zigged and zagged across the hillside with great speed, as if being harried and hurried by an unseen hunter. When it reached the spot where the old woman was standing, it suddenly stopped, looking up at her with wide, worried eyes. In a flash of conviction, she grabbed hold of the hair and pushed it down into her basket, hastily pulling over some of the straw before shutting the lid. Just at that moment, the old woman felt a sudden breeze begin to blow from the north, cold, cutting, and cruel. Woven within the wind, she could hear the shrill blast of a hunter's horn, followed by the thunder of horses' hooves and the baying of hunting hounds. Silhouetted against the Lenten moon, the old woman could see a dark huntsman seated upon a jet-black horse, a nightmare, surrounded by a sea of slavering dogs. With a prickling of hairs on the back of her neck, she noticed that the rider's head had long, curved horns. The wild hunt swiftly surged towards the old woman, like storm clouds, until the horned rider halted his horse right in front of her. Steam snorted from the steed's nostrils, and the stench of sulphur filled the air. Now she knew for certain who the huntsman was, Old Nick himself. He looked at the old woman with smouldering red embers for eyes, and a thin, sneering smile flickered across his lips. "Old woman, I'm hunting a hare this night. Long have I hunted her, and long has she escaped me, but now she is almost in my grasp. She surely ran past you, so tell me which way she went." For a brief moment, the old woman felt horribly compelled by the seductive voice to tell the truth of where the hare was hiding. But she quickly quelled her fears and raised her arm, pointing to the west. "That way," she said as confidently as she could. "Are you sure?" said the devil, leaning forward to peer suspiciously into her eyes. But then with a lightning crack of his whip, horse and rider were up and away, with the dogs flowing around them like living shadows. Only when the sounds of horse and hounds had finally disappeared did the old woman start to relax. Slowly she opened her basket, but inside there were only eggs and cream. The hare had disappeared. Instead, standing suddenly in front of her was the form of a beautiful young woman, with a shimmering silvery gown and a golden glow around her head. The old woman didn't know whether she was an angel or a ghost, but when she spoke, she knew it was neither. "Thank you. Your instincts and your courage have saved me and the world. For if the devil and the wild hunt had caught me this night, then there would be no dawn on this spring equinox morning, and the light would fail to return for the rest of the year." The bright being smiled warmly at the old grey woman, then bent down to pick a golden flower from the ground, a starry celandine, and placed it gently in the woman's basket. "From now on, all will go well with you. All manner of things will go well." Then slowly the spirit turned towards the east, and as she did, her light began to fade, and the outline of her body began to dissolve. But at the exact same moment, the golden glow of dawn broke brilliantly over the horizon. The old woman stood for a while, basking in the first rays of sunlight on the spring equinox. Then she picked up her basket and walked into town to sell her wares, which sold quickly that morning and for a good price too. And sure enough, from that day on, everything went well for the old woman. The grass grew sweet in her paddock, the cow's milk was creamy and rich, and the hens laid plentiful speckled brown eggs. Everyone that bought her eggs claimed that when cracked open, the yolk inside was as bright and golden as the dawning sun. Blessed Ostara, if you are listening to this on the day that it comes out. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you are up to. That is all I have for you today, witches. I'm just going to ask a cheeky little ask before I go. Just if you enjoy the podcast, if you might consider leaving me a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. 5-star reviews are always welcomed. But yes, it really helps me out if you can. I also wanted to say you might want to follow me over on Patreon. There are different free posts that I put out. You can also see what posts go out on the Patreon tiers. So if ever you feel inclined to join our witchy community, there are different tiers at different prices and they have different things that you can access on there also. We have lots of different get-togethers and so on. We have our Discord thread where we all catch up and talk about different witchy themes and so on. So yes, you might want to check it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. But for now, I'm sending you lots and lots of witchy love.